So anyway, I told her, I said, I don't care if you're pregnant or not. Pick up that couch. You know what I mean? What are you going to do?
I don't know. Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Welcome to Couch Pilots, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, a.k.a. Captain Bottlecap, and with me as always is Captain Philip Restassure. Hello, Philip, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, Captain. How are you?
Very good. This is
I felt like you're just waking up. Are you just waking up?
That really is the case.
I think it's the piano music. It makes you so relaxed at the beginning, and I'm never relaxed. And so, like, you're like, "Hello, this is Couch Pilots," and I'm like, "Hi."
It's such a smooth sounding intro that I feel like I have to compliment that with kind of a smooth intro myself. And honestly, I did just wake up a little bit ago, and nothing makes you more tired than sleeping. So.
That's true.
It's sleep on top of smooth intro music on top of smooth intro. It's a cavalcade of snoring.
I like it. Well, it's a pleasure to be on yet another flight with you. We're racking these flights up. Season 2, episode 4.
Knee deep into the 1980s and all the horrific wonder that those episodes will bring us. We've tackled some really interesting pilots so far, and you have recently reached out to one of the stars of one of our latest episodes, and you have, I think, you tweeted back and forth with this gentleman. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I kind of, you could call it instigating in a way. We're trying to get listeners to the show, and so when we have people like Mason Reese, who is still alive, because we're in the 80s now, like most of the people either or probably have a Twitter.
Yeah, the people now in the 80s do, and he was young enough at the time to where he's probably mid-40s.
Sure. He's probably about the same age as us.
Yeah. Maybe he's got a few years older than us, I think.
Yeah.
But he's still alive for sure.
Right, so obviously, I mean, that's the whole point of social media is like we're trying to get it out there. Like we're going to hashtag and tag him in tweets to not only for him, but for his fans.
We need to be social. Right?
On social medias.
That's right. So what did you say to Mason Reese?
Well, I had tweeted out, Couch Pilots Pod. That's our new Twitter, by the way.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
It's Couch Pilots Pod on Twitter.
That's it.
So go follow us, by the way. But he's got a Mason Reese, the Mason Reese, and then also Mason Reese Management. Supposedly he manages actors and bands.
I doubt that very much.
Well, he's got his own Twitter. So, and I just put, Couch Pilots releases episode season 1, episode 11 about the failed pilot Mason.
Can I say quickly too? The only band that I can see Mason Reese managing is that mini version of Kiss.
Oh, yeah, the midgets?
Yeah. That's it.
And so he tweeted back at Couch Pilots Pod, at Mason Reese, all good. Oh, wait, that's the first one. He says, it's actually didn't fail. Fred Silverman canceled it because he didn't create it. It got high ratings, which we know that's false because, A, it wasn't canceled because of Fred Silverman because it was sat on the shelf for 2 years.
And it came out on like the 4th of July.
Right.
No one's watching anything.
Right.
The summer is the notorious dumping ground for like, oh crap, we have a contract. We have to air this at some point.
Right.
So the summer's a dumping ground. 4th of July is like the worst day that you want to post something because everyone's outside watching.
Yeah, the festivities. The festivities.
Vesuvius.
Yes. The Mount Vesuvius explodes into the sky and everybody watches it.
Right. So how could it I mean, high ratings relative to what? You know?
Right.
Am I calling Mason Reese a liar? You betcha.
Well, and then So I was like, hey, I put, hey, wasn't trying to offend.
Right.
It just met our criteria, is what I put. And he said, it's all good. It just wanted to give a little insight. Silverman's ego got in the way.
I'm sure.
So, but he didn't tag Fred Silverman.
And he's probably long dead.
We can find out.
Mr. Silverman's probably long dead. And like you said, 2 years on the shelf, does that really promote any confidence in a series? Say it had...
Right.
I mean, it's impossible to have good ratings on the 4th of July. It just is. There's no way they could do it. So this is a failure on all accounts. And, he was an 8-year-old, 10-year-old kid. None of that fault lies on him directly.
He's understands. He was proud of what he did because he
Sure.
only did one thing. And so he's proud of it. Like our podcast, we're proud of it.
Right.
The 30 people that listen, great.
Yeah, we love him.
But there was a Fred Silverman the first, the second, and the third, and they were all directors and producers. So I don't know which one he was talking about.
And they're probably all dead, aren't they? All of them.
Fred Silverman the first, he was the producer and writer of Madlock.
I hope he's dead.
Born, it doesn't say he died. It just says born 1937, so
I'm sure he's dead. And if not, he's knocking on death's door.
Well, I'll tell you what, his rating, he is 27,968 points down on IMDb. So
on their what is it called? The power star meter?
Yeah, star meter. So
who cares?
He should be dead. No.
If your star rating gets below 25,000, you should die.
Right. He did Madlock.
Jeff Bridges, or not Jeff Bridges. Todd Bridges is down there, I'm sure.
Diagnosis Murder.
Yeah.
Jake and the Fat Man. In the Heat of the Night. So that's what his kind of thing was. So I don't know if that's necessarily him or not. But to Mason Reese, hey, you made some commercials. Your mom took all the money.
He's been the star of one more pilot than I've been in.
Right. So, hey, more good on you. And I tweeted the link straight to him. I directed
to the show or
to the episode.
I mean, this is maybe a moot point, but what color was the link?
It was blue. Definitely blue.
Okay, good.
I'm not going to send a star like that, an A-rating star.
I don't know if you gave him like one of those glittery blue links or some sort of sterling silver
like the old
link.
MySpace glitter.
Yeah.
No, but I understand that his skin is a little thinner than ours when it comes to this because it was
of his mutation.
Yeah, because of his mutation, how he's 3 feet tall, 800 pounds, and has the longest face I've ever seen.
He's got Sarah Jessica Parker face? Is that what you're saying?
It's longer than that.
Wow.
Yeah, like Mr. Ed face. Super long. So, Mason Reese, thank you for interacting with our show.
For sure. That's really cool that you guys had a little conversation there.
I think it's one of the first tweets on our Twitter page.
I would assume it is.
It's Couch Pilots Pod.
Oh, boy. Recently we had a beginning banter about anal thermometers, and now it's anal Reese. I just call him anal Reese, I think. That's not his name.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
Boy, how the banter shifts.
It gets shorter and shorter.
Oh, the banter?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I feel like it was short, but maybe not.
It was, but was it sweet?
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm all right. I talked to John earlier. He got back from Vegas.
Okay.
Seeing the Led Zeppelin tribute band.
Right.
I told him that, hey, in a couple weeks, the same Led Zeppelin tribute band is going to be in Peoria at the Peoria Civic Center.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, he didn't have to go all the way.
Well, it's tough for him to decipher things like that, I think, sometimes.
I guess he said he won $10,000 on the slot machines.
Wow.
At the Excalibur.
If you're going to win $10,000 in Vegas, that's the place to do it.
That's where I won my money when I went. When me and Miles got married there.
Yeah.
I won $75 at the Excalibur.
What'd you play?
It was the what's that movie? The Hangover. It was a Hangover.
The Hangover slot machine.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like the branding they do for movies. and
yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Like I walked into a local casino recently, and I was just getting
Casino.
I was just getting change. Because I was breaking like 100 or something, and it was for work. So I go in there to get change, and I see a Britney Spears slot machine, and it's got like Hit Me Baby One More Time, Britney Spears, and then like modern day Spears next to it. And it's just like, who signs off on this? How much money does a celebrity get for having their face, or how much does a movie studio get for having their film plastered on one of these slot machines?
Right, and I'm surprised we haven't seen the Mason Reese one.
Yeah, what kind of game do you think that would be? Texas Fold'em?
Texas Fold'em.
Yeah.
Touch your partner. We you gotta go through the casino touching little kids.
That would be about right. That would align with this show. Maybe the slot machine's just really close to the ground. Maybe you have to be in like a prone position.
You got to sit Indian style to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indian casino.
And then and then when you pull the lever, like when it's time to pull the lever, he's like, "Hold my hand, hold my hand."
Hi, Dad. Enough about that guy.
Yeah, enough about it. Let's just put it to rest.
Let's rest assured that we're going to close the book on
Philip.
Philip, rest assured that we will close the book on Mason Reese from now henceforth.
After I say this,
okay.
To me, we had our first Twitter battle.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal.
And since he didn't come back at us, I feel like we won.
Want to know? Maybe we should just shut down the account right now.
I'm just waiting to get the tweets from Victoria Jackson.
Oh, did you send her something?
Yes.
What did you send her?
I sent her the links to the show where we talked about how she was once pretty and is now fat.
And now you said that you were able to have sex with her now? Like she was attainable to you? Oh, boy. You are an instigator. You're out there just stirring shit up on the internet.
There's no such thing as bad press.
That's fair. And people are probably thinking...
I felt like on that episode,
when
we did Walter, the first episode 1 of season 2,
okay.
I felt overall we said more nice things about her than bad things about her. So I didn't feel ashamed to send it to her.
I agree. I love Victoria Jackson. I'm a huge SNL guy, so I'm happy to see her on that show. A recognizable face. She's a very cute girl. I think you have sexual fantasies of something to do with her voice and her undergarments. That's fine. I hope she listens. I hope she gets back to us. I hope we walk away from the Victoria Jackson Twitter battle 2-0.
Oh yeah, and we'll keep you. So far, as of 12 hours, there hasn't been any response.
Subscribe to or follow us on Twitter, and you will be able to follow the battle, our Twitter battle.
Right, and also, I mean, if you follow us on Twitter, that's Couch Pilots Pod.
Yeah.
You have a possibility of winning some special prizes.
A surprise prize.
Surprise prize. We just got done today. Before the flight, we were in the captain's lounge,
stretching,
and we're doing our stretches before flight stretches. Mm-hmm. But also, we were signing aviator glasses. I mean, the emails we're getting it's crazy. Requests, people already cashing them in.
Right, people are really they see the future. Basically, is what it is. Saying, "Boy, I've accrued enough for some glasses. I know some surprise prizes are coming. Let me cash in what I got now." And they're going to keep pumping these out. I'm going to keep getting the frequent flyer points. And who knows what those surprise prizes are going to be?
Who knows?
But these people are already getting their mitts on these aviator glasses signed by the two of us.
Yeah, and if you go to our Facebook page, Couch Pilots, you'll be able to see a picture.
The signed picture, right? Signed glasses, picture of the signed glasses. Yep. Some people probably click on this show by accident, and they're like, "What is this? What is this show?" Well, we're going to tell you. This is every damn year, young actors flock to Hollyweird in hopes of landing that perfect TV show that will turn them into a sought-after starlet. Unfortunately, the overwhelming majority go home, and those that do land a job have very little chance of their show ever making it to air, let alone the program becoming a success. Enter Captain Rest Assure and I. We come in and we sweep up all the failure, all the subpar pilot episodes. Then we ever so gently place them into our Italian-made knapsacks and return home to record a podcast lambasting them. For all of you, for all of our frequent flyers, for without you, we disappear like Martin McFly on a Polaroid.
What did you say, McBastin?
Lambast.
What the hell is that?
Like beat up on, make fun of.
Like we did to Mason Reese.
Well, pretty much exactly like that.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to bring it up
again. Yeah, let's close the book on him.
Okay.
You know what? The only way actually, in my research for that show, I think there was another show he was trying to do where he was like, I think he was the star of it, and he ran a bar, right?
Yeah, like a a Cheers.
Yeah, so I don't know if that ever came to fruition, if that pilot was ever made, but if it was, that may be something in the future we could rewatch. So we could, at that time, we could reopen the book on Mason Reese, but until then, I have no interest.
Yeah, let's just drop it.
Let's just drop it. So today we're discussing 1989's The Nerd, which is perfect because I'm a nerd. Actually, what is the difference between a nerd and a loser?
Well, I think the definition of nerd from 1989 is a lot different than a definition of a nerd today.
Okay, you want to elaborate on that?
Sure, I would be more than happy to. Back then a nerd was like Revenge of the Nerds. They were really book smart. They
high
waters. They had pocket protectors.
Glasses.
Glasses. Nobody wanted to talk to him. Real bad acne,
respiratory problems,
greasy hair. That was the quintessential
classic nerd.
And that's what I think this nerd is based off of, that kind of character.
Oh, for sure.
But now, I think, now they say nerd, like, comic book nerd, or they say video game nerd. Or,
they really hone in on something specific.
I think if you are a big fan of something, if you're drenched into something, whatever it may be, that makes you a nerd of that thing, like a Netflix nerd, a Hulu nerd.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't think the stereotype of the pocket protector and that stuff, I don't think that's relevant anymore. There's, like yourself, handsome, young, hip, cool nerds.
Right, thank you.
But I would say you're
a bottle cap nerd.
You're a bottle cap nerd, exactly, or a comedy nerd because you know a lot about comedy.
Okay, yeah.
So.
It doesn't always come across on the podcast, but yes, I like to think that I.
No, I think it does. I listen back to all of them. You're much funnier.
Does it tickle you?
Oh,
are you tickled?
I love it.
Are you thoroughly tickled?
I am thoroughly tickled. I've listened to a couple episodes 4 or 5 times.
Oh, really?
Yes, I laugh every time.
We have a lot of fun. I think there's a prophecy back then. I think if you were a nerd, it's like gay people. I think gay people and nerds have had a similar trajectory where they were outcasts. They were people who are social pariahs, people that they were pushed to the side, to the waste bin, and gay people are like, you know what? We're going to keep fighting the good fight, and someday we're going to be accepted for who we are. Laws are going to catch up, and people are going to realize that we are an important part of the society. We contribute. And the same thing with the nerds. I think the nerd prophecy is, hey, guess what? Who's running the country someday? All the scientists, all the people in power. These are all people who went to school, who are highly educated, who have are very proficient in a certain area, and someday the nerds will take over. And you know what? The nerds are taking over.
Yeah, I think they took over already.
Yeah, and they're taking over. And gay people in a similar trajectory. Everyone loves gay people now.
Yeah. They used to be shamed.
Right.
They thought it was gross and dirty. Now it's like, let's go dancing.
I still think gay people. I think what they do behind closed doors is gross. And I'm not a homophobe. I that's not for me. If they want to do it, God bless them. I hope they do it.
Right.
But I'm not. I don't want to have sex with a man's butt. Do you?
No.
And I'm not making fun of gay people at all. I'm just saying that's not my. I can't relate to that. Did I enjoy Brokeback Mountain? You bet. That was a great love story.
It was riveting.
But the sexual things, I can't.
Yeah,
I'm not wired that way.
We didn't need to see the tent scene where they had sex.
Right. You know what they say too. If this tent's a rockin', there's 2 gay men inside having anal sex. That's bumper stickers on my truck.
But also, there's gay women that have sex. Do you enjoy watching that?
No.
You're lying.
No, I'm serious.
You're not telling the truth.
I am serious. I am not. When it's time to settle down for the night and masturbate, it's never to girl on girl.
Really?
Yeah.
What if she has a strap on?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
To me,
pardon me. That must be Mason Reese.
Oh my.
We'll just let it
go. Hey, screw you guys. Anyway, no, I don't. It's less gross, I think.
I really like watching girl on girl with a girl having a strap on.
You like that?
I love it.
I don't know. To me, it's like, oh, that guy really seems to be enjoying himself. Oh, that woman. But with how much could the girl be enjoying herself with this? With this fake phallus. You know?
I don't care.
You don't care? Okay. I have to watch my porn viewing is an hour minimum on one. I really have to invest in the characters. I do a lot of research before I get started. I have to really settle in.
I'm 5 minutes and out.
Well, you're saving a lot more time than I am. I'll tell you that much.
I do a lot of fast forwarding on the VHS player.
Philip, how old were you when this pilot was made? Actually, you know what? 1989. Let me guess. Can I guess?
Yeah, go sure.
14.
How did you know that?
Because of math. I want to tell you, I've been taking night school. I've been learning
Really?
math. Yep.
I remember a while back we talked about how your father was very, very hard on you when it came to math, and you kind of had a math phobia when we talked about it a few times, and you've been taking night classes.
My father was a tactician, and he just numbers all the time, like it was the Matrix for him. The whole world was just numbers, and the fact that he had this child that was so inept. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Dumb is a less nice way to put it. He just had this stupid child who you know what I like? I like colors. Give me some shapes. You know?
Right.
Beyond that, I'm useless. So for a guy who his whole world is numbers, and to have this child who can't do anything when it comes to math, it was very heartbreaking for him.
Wow.
And so
that's intense.
It is intense. And if this tent's a knocking or rocking, you know.
Two guys are fucking.
That's right. So I've been taking some night school classes, and that's why I was like, okay, I know when Blake was born. I know when this came out. Let me do some quick math. Boom, boom, boom. 14.
But how old were you? I mean,
see, I didn't prepare that. Damn it.
You didn't.
Let me
here.
Yeah, why don't you guess?
Here, I'll tell you what. I'll do a little practice session with you, a little homework. Okay.
I know when I was born.
So it's usually 6-year difference between us.
Okay.
So if you have 14 apples and you take 6 apples away,
that helps.
How many do you?
Thank you. First of all, when I can picture
like
a real world scenario.
Right. Yeah, a real world scenario. There's 14 apples in front of you, Jason, and I'm taking 6 of them away.
I can't tell you how many times in my life I've been presented with apples only to have someone take them away and for me to try to clean up the mess and make sense of it. In that case, 14 apples, take away 6, carry the 1. You're going to be, it's 12 apples. You got 12 apples. So I was 12, I guess, at the time.
No. You were 8.
14.
You probably got messed up because you thought I said a bushel of apples.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I just said 14 apples.
Okay, so yes, I was 8 years old. I guess that does make a little bit more sense. And then the last portion of this is why did we choose the nerd?
Oh, I can go over those with everybody.
Yeah.
There's 3 criteria that we use here on Couch Pilots. 1, you have to be a failed pilot, so you did not go to Sirius.
Just taking a drink.
I'll wait for you to get done.
Yes, I agree with that one.
Okay, number 2, we have to be able to find it.
Oh yeah, okay,
all right. Fine. And 3, it has to be free.
I'm trying to get some drinks in here, and you're. Yes, fine. You did all 3. Very good. What do you want from me?
I want you to acknowledge that my family, my mother and father did not acknowledge when I did something right.
Each step of the way, you were right. Let me get a drink of water here. I can't get a drink of water edgewise. I don't know. But maybe you don't listen. Maybe you don't watch the pilots before you listen to the show. We kind of give you a heads up. But maybe you watch them later. Maybe you don't watch them at all. Maybe you watch them based on our ratings. But if you do decide that you want to watch them, if you want to watch this steaming pile, you can watch it on YouTube.
Whoa!
What's
that?
You can't
just say steaming pile. We haven't even gotten into it.
Steaming pile.
Now, everybody that listens to the show, all 30 people that download the show, are just going to turn it off because they're like, "Oh, Jason didn't like it."
Well, I hope that's not the case. Oh boy. Can we edit?
You can't give your opinion so early in the show.
How about watch this pile? Is that better?
Yeah.
You can watch this pile of show on YouTube by searching the Nerd TV Pilot or by subscribing to Couch Pilots and iTunes or your favorite podcast app and check out our show notes. They got everything. Everything you need is in there.
I like the way you shake it right there when you run your fingers through your hair.
How many Grammys did Chingy win that year? When that song came out,
a bushel, I think.
He's I think when you sweep the Grammys like that,
it's called a bushel.
Yeah, you bushel out. So congratulations to Chingy. Hashtag right there. Let's take this mother off.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
Man, I'm glad John's back.
Yeah, I gave him a little present when he came back. I gave him a pillowcase full of D batteries for his own orange cones.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Because he's always like, he's smacking the cone against his head, trying to get the light back on to direct us in.
It'll flicker.
He's always smacking. I say, John, you got to get your hands on some D batteries.
Right.
And then he says whatever the hell he says. I can't understand him half the time. And so he came back from Vegas and said, hey, welcome back. And I dumped them all on the ground because it was my pillowcase. I needed it.
Right? Yeah. It's your Star Wars one.
Yeah. I said, go ahead and carry these D batteries away any way that you see fit. This is my pillowcase. So I put.
That's why he had his shirt off. I couldn't figure out why he had his shirt off.
Oh yeah.
He must have tied the arms closed and then filled that up. That makes sense now.
Threw those over his shoulder like a Continental soldier.
Yeah, he had new I thought it was just showing me his new tattoos.
I think it was a little from A and B there.
Right, because he got all of the Led Zeppelin tribute bands autographs, and then he tattooed on there.
Now, what's his nickname? Is it Nacho John or is it Tarmac John?
No, it's DS.
DS?
DSJ.
DSJ.
But I call him Tarmac John.
Tarmac, okay. Because he's always on the tarmac.
Right. That's the only time I ever see him.
Makes sense to me.
He's not allowed in the captain's lodge.
You know what? If I had my way, everyone could come in, but I don't make the rules.
I wouldn't. If I had my way, I would not let everybody in. We go there so we can, have a couple drinks, go over the flight pattern. Me and Stewardess Miles, we, go
little fornication,
little Californication, and
the WC head back.
Right,
there.
and I don't want to sit there and look at all those fucking people sitting and waiting to get on the plane.
Yeah,
okay. It makes me nervous because I could kill these people. I don't even want to see their faces. To me, I want them to be a seat number.
Yeah, you don't want to put a face with a potential body count.
Exactly.
That's fair. Summary of the plot. I think that's a great segue into summary of the plot. Willem and Tansy, terrible names, are throwing an intimate dinner get-together for a potential client. The evening is interrupted by the arrival of Rick, who proceeds to spiral the evening into an ever-growing disaster.
Yes. How often do you have clients come over?
This is a cliche. This is a 1960s, 1970s, 1980s cliche where the boss is coming over and you have to impress them with dinner.
Yeah.
No one does that. No one does that. There's no woman that's making Cornish hens in the kitchen.
Not at all.
Coming out with, glazed asparagus. And it's just, you go out to dinner. You go out to a nice dinner and then you offer to pay for it and you go back and forth once or twice and then you end up paying for it and try to impress your boss.
Right, exactly.
That's the modern equivalent. So this is already starting off as a cliche. This is my favorite part of the show where we talk. The part of the show is called Interesting Facts.
Makes me nervous. It just I know it's coming, but it just always puts me on edge because you always say interesting facts.
That's just the name of it, though.
I know, but it makes me nervous that you're going to slip up again.
A lot of these shows, you can dig into them and you can find a lot out about them. You can see when they were made, who was involved, maybe a little history behind it, and these are all facts. No one is out there disputing these things. These are believed to be set in stone facts. Now, if you want to hear these facts come from us and you want to say, hey, that's an interesting fact, that's fine. That's none of my business.
Right.
What you think of it, the name of the segment is called Interesting Facts. We will present you with facts, and then you put whatever adjective on there you want.
Right. You could say, oh, that was a dumb fact, or, oh, that was a mildly attractive
You are
fact.
completely within your right to do so.
Right. And, when we get these facts, there's pages of them. You send me pages of facts.
We comb through them to try to find the what we perceive to be
facts.
Right.
And so, for me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't go, oh, will a black person think that this fact is interesting? Or, oh, will this Jamaican guy think,
Same thing.
Yeah, and so on and so forth.
Like an African guy.
I'm like, oh, if someone makes under $40,000 a year, are they going to think that's interesting? I don't even.
Because you don't discriminate.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I don't discriminate. You don't discriminate very often.
Personally, in my head, all the time I'm discriminating. All the time. But I don't apply it to this segment of the show.
What do you discriminate against most?
Usually when I'm at Walmart and I see people there, it's like it's 38 degrees out and the guy's got short sleeves on and shorts on. I think, oh, you're an idiot.
Right. And then
discriminated.
And flip-flops.
Yeah, or Crocs on. I was like, hey, you know what? That's fine. That's fine if it's 75 degrees. It's not.
Right.
It's almost freezing outside.
Right,
And this is
because
what you've chosen to wear.
In a week from now, you're going to have a seriously bad cold, and you're going to go to the doctor, which I'm going to pay for.
That's right. Because I can't tell you how many times during the week I get a call from a doctor saying, "Hey, I need you to pay for someone's medical bill," and I have
Every week, every
by
Friday.
the compact of the land, I have no choice but to hand over my complete debit card number and a 3-digit code on the back.
Right. Every Friday.
That's when you get them?
Yeah, every Friday.
Boy, a little off subject there. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get upset about having to pay for people's cold medicine or people's anyway. Fact number 1: The Nerd is a 2-act comedy written by the American actor / playwright Larry Shue. Actors who have taken on the title role include acclaimed British comedian Rowan Atkinson, also known as Mr. Bean. You know Mr. Bean?
Okay.
It was the top-grossing American play in London's West End in 1986.
Sure.
So this was originally a play.
Sure.
Something that, and it did very well.
Yeah.
And
I noticed that when I was looking up the pictures, like there's a lot of theater versions of it. I'm like, oh, that's probably would have been better.
That's how it originated. And then in 1989, NBC commissioned a sitcom pilot adapted from the play with John Dye, Harley Jane Kozak, and Robert Joy, who reprised his role as Rick Steadman. A series wasn't optioned, but the episode was eventually broadcast in March 1996. 7 years later.
They recorded it, they filmed it, and they put it out 7 years later.
And that's why it qualifies for the 1980s in my book. Not only, I mean, there's a drastic shift in fashion and style between 89 and 96. So to me, to see that, and I did not see that on television when it was broadcast. And again, probably in March of 96. So it must have looked so out of place. And I can't imagine how they promoted it at the time. This is a time when like ER and Friends and Seinfeld were rocking the NBC stage,
That is so interesting.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, write down, what point are we at in the show? Write that down. We're cutting here. This is
31:52.
Cut it. This is bullshit, man. We talk about this, and I had a slip, and now, I mean, I guess this is your one, but I see where you were upset when I did it. I get it now. It's a fact.
I said it's an intriguing fact.
God damn it, you did not. You said it was interesting, and even if you did say it was intriguing, you're putting your opinion on this fact. This is not.
But that's a fact unlike any fact we've had. It's very interesting.
You get one, and now you're abusing it. I don't know what you want from me here. What kind of show do you want to do? Do you just want to throw out the rest of the format? What kind of show do you want to do here, Philip?
I want to do a good show that 31 people will listen to.
Well, I cannot say whether or not this is the way to get there.
All right. Well, I apologize. Formal apology.
These are facts.
Okay, facts.
I tell you what. When we are done taping, if you want to pull aside and look at these facts later, and we can go up and down these facts, say, I find this one interesting, I don't find this one interesting, I'd be more than happy to do that with you. I've got nothing to do after this. But on air, this is not the time nor the place for it.
I'm sorry.
That'll be fine. All right, so Robert Joy reprised the role he played in the 1987 Broadway play from which the pilot was adapted. Robert Joy, who many people may recognize as one of those that guys, people you see on TV all the time or in a movie, and you're like, hey, I know that guy. He was that guy in that thing. But like, what's his name? I have no idea.
Right,
I would never know that guy's name. He's a character actor who's been in a million things, such as Desperately Seeking Susan, Miami Vice, Malcolm in the Middle, Masters of Sex. What is it? You just like the word sex? It's the same laugh. Hold on. Sex. Yeah, okay. And perhaps most notably, 167 episodes of CSI New York.
CSI. There's too many CSIs.
Sex. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I've never seen an episode of CSI. Did you watch that?
No, the commercials are annoying.
I don't. Everyone's so serious. They're always in weirdly lit rooms. I'm not interested.
Yeah. No, I have no desire whatsoever.
Willem Boyd, who played the kind of the straight man. Willem Boyd. I know is the name of the character. I'm sorry. Willem Boyd is the character. I think the guy's name was John Dye. He did a couple of Murder, She Wrote and almost 200 episodes of Touched by an Angel.
That's where I remember him from.
For real? Mm-hmm. Did you watch Touched by an Angel?
I've seen it many times.
Many times. That's another show that I've just never seen in that. 200 episodes, almost 200 of a show. Never seen one.
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
Are you getting the pachinko machine out?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the pachinko machine. Think about it. 200 episodes.
Yeah.
What is that? What does that equal? Always.
200.
No. What does it equate to?
I don't know. What is it?
When a show gets to 200, they go into.
I thought it was 100. You go into syndication.
I thought it was 200.
100 is like 5 seasons. If a show can do 5 seasons, that's like syndication, I think. Is that what you meant, though?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. Touched by an
Thanks
Angel?
for calling me stupid.
No,
People, there's a lot of old ladies that watch TV.
Della Reese, right?
She watched it all the time.
She was in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I was because Touched by an Angel starred John Dye, Della Reese, and then some mid-90s cute broad.
Right.
Della Reese, open in the book, Mason Reese. Any relation there?
Whew. I'm going to have to investigate that. Maybe I should tweet him.
Let's go round 2 with Reese, Mason Reese.
Well, I thought we were going to close the book.
All right, let's close the book. Well, maybe we'll talk to Della Reese and see what she says. I have no interest in watching Touched by an Angel. I think that looks horrible. And finally, Harley Jane Kozak was in a few soap operas. She was in When Harry Met Sally. Why didn't Mary meet Sally? Do you think that was a lesbian?
Yeah, I think that was
porno?
the initial script that was written.
Yeah,
was the same movie, but 2 women meeting,
and it was supposed to be Billy Crystal as a woman.
Right. And I guess the when they were at the cafe, the orgasm scene,
yeah,
it just wasn't working with 2 women because they couldn't scissor underneath it.
And that's pretty knee deep into the movie too. So that's like go Back to the Future, filming half of the movie with Eric Stoltz and then cutting him out and say we got to scrap this thing.
Yep.
We got to go back to square one.
And at the time the LBGTYZ was not as prevalent as it is now.
The LBC.
Yeah, Long Beach.
Yeah.
TikTok.
I wouldn't stop for anyone probably. Billy Crystal is a prime candidate for a man playing a woman because every time he's got facial hair, it looks so unnatural on him.
Right, it looks like it's painted on there.
Yeah, so I think he's naturally hairless, and that makes for a great woman, if you ask me.
Oh, that's the way I like my women.
Naturally hairless, but how often does it happen?
Not very often.
Damn right. All right, well, let's break down this show. Usually, whether it's an hour and a half movie that we were watching that was supposed to be like a takeoff for a series, or just one episode, 22 minutes, I usually have like 2 to 3 pages. I've got like 1 page of notes here. I have almost nothing written about this show because I feel like, to me, when they said after watching it, is like this was a play originally. Yeah, I can see that because it's one set they're on the whole time.
Sure.
So like a play is usually just 1 set or 2, especially a drama. Or in this case, it was a comedy play. But
let's stick our fingers into it.
Let's stick our fingers in there and poke around a little bit. The opening.
The opening theme with the opening scene. It was just some music which we played on the last episode.
Right.
There was no words, no song, and it just showed Rick, Will, and Tansy dancing around, and Rick has a tambourine, and he's just dancing around the tambourine, and then out the door.
Yeah, he Tansy and Willem are like standing and kind of shifting their feet back and forth. Rick busts through the door with a tambourine, starts dancing around. They go into the kitchen, they do a lap in there, come out to the living room, and then he goes, and then they go out the door, and he's got it's stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb.
This is like, we have to do something in the beginning. You guys have 5 minutes. You just want to dance?
Sure. Well, and I think also it was difficult to come up with a theme song or anything or an opening like credits scene because of how he got involved. I mean, how they introduced the character of Rick. You know what I mean?
Well, let's write a song right now for it.
Okay, all right.
I'll get the music going.
Oh, of course.
You want to do the music? Okay, you do the music.
Okay,
and I'll do the lyrics. Okay,
all of it. I'm not going to be responsible for any lyrics.
Do you want to be?
Well, I'll
do the first couple, and then we'll switch.
Okay,
mid song. So go ahead. Unexpected guest. A whole lot of fun. In the 1980s, this is what nerds looked like. Bump up a chump a chum.
Now everybody, break out your Bibles and tambourines, cause it's time for another episode of Nerd.
That was better.
It was better.
That was better. At least we had words.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. I'm already starting to like the show better based on the intro that we just made up.
I like it. I think next time I'm going to go back and watch it on YouTube and just play this part.
Yeah.
And then start watching. I'll probably give it a higher rating.
A couple anticipating the arrival of a boss for dinner party gets a call. They get a call because it's basically they're just kind of getting ready to the house. I think
he was all nervous. Mr. and Mrs. Walgrave, who was his client.
I kept hearing Walgreens.
I thought it was Walgreens too, and I was actually watching it with the stewardess, Miles, and I said, "Did he say Walgreens?" But I listened a couple times. It's Walgraves.
Okay, that makes more sense. They're getting ready for them to come over. Getting ready to the house.
He was just nervous. He wanted everything to be perfect. This was a huge client for him. He had to land this.
I think it was it his boss or was it a client?
It was a client. He was trying to land this,
and he had ideas that this was going to be a launching pad for some of his ideas to get into working with him. And they're getting ready, and all of a sudden, ring, ring. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, I'm the nerd, and I'm coming over.
My name is Rick Stedman. I'm on my way over to your house.
And it's like, does Willem Boyd live there? And like, yes, he does. And then he hangs up.
Yeah, there was no, just like, he just called and said, hey, does so-and-so live here? And he's like, yeah. And Tansy is like, yeah. Hangs up the phone.
And then he's like, hey, Tansy, who was that? It's like, Rick Stedman.
He's, oh, man, that name sounds so familiar. How do I know that name?
Yep, and it was, apparently he had saved him years ago from a fire.
Yeah, an apartment fire. He saved him. And Rick pulled him out to safety.
Yeah.
And then Will says, I owe you my life, money, a place to stay.
Whatever it is.
My wife, whatever you want, whatever you need, whatever you desire, I owe you big time.
Now, some of my research of it, it was originally Rick Stedman saved Willem in Vietnam. That was the original in the play. That was originally what happened. But I think it was a few years later. Maybe they're trying to not talk about Vietnam or didn't want that to be a part of it, or just wanted a new spin on it. But Willem had never seen Rick before. He kind of, by the time he came to at the hospital or was healing, Rick had already gone and moved on to whatever he was doing, and he didn't get a chance to meet him.
That's an interesting fact.
Yeah, well, I think you and I need to have a pretty serious conversation after this episode about how you qualify these facts, and it's really for our viewers to decide. I think you know that. I don't know why you are...
You're so mad.
Well, I mean, what do we talk about every episode, and you're blatantly going against it? I don't know what the problem is. This is not your first flight. You're here with me every week, and we do this.
I'm sorry, okay?
What is it? No, maybe there's something deeper going on here. Why do you keep saying these facts are interesting?
Because I find them interesting. I'm sorry.
Can't you reserve that till later?
Stop hitting me.
I will never stop hitting you. All right,
But I love him. Why won't you quit flying with him? Because I love him. All right, I'm sorry.
Is that from The Nerd?
No. But they do kiss. Will and Tansy have big, long, awkward kisses 3 times in this show. I counted them.
Did they make you uncomfortable?
Yeah, they were those uncomfortable nobody kisses like this kind of kisses. Like
just a lot of mouth.
A lot of mouth. Like open up your mouth and just put them together in an X shape.
Ugh. Boy, that does sound hot. The boss comes over with his wife, who they announce is a kleptomaniac.
Yeah,
and he says, you know what? They sit on the couch in like 30 seconds and say, hey, let's get to eating because I want to play some games.
Right, and Mr. Walgrave is like calling Tansy like toots and sweetie and very
blatantly sexist. Yes, and she is giving him a little sass back, and he doesn't. I think it's just kind of he's not even really paying attention to.
No,
it.
He's like, you're a woman. I don't have to listen to what you say.
Yeah, and then so the Willem pulls her aside and says, hey, you know what? I know this guy's kind of a prick, but this is a big deal. Please deal with whatever he's dishing out. We're gonna go through the next few hours. I'm gonna sweet talk this mofo. We'll be writing a golden ticket here.
Right.
So while he's pulling her aside, they come back out into the dining room.
Boom.
Third person there. Who's this guy?
Rick sitting at the table.
Rick has come in, and he looks exactly like I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy from the Revenge of the Nerds.
Right, the main one. But there was no knock at the door. There was no doorbell ring. There was no ruckus in the living room of any kind.
Right.
Just all of a sudden, boom! Here's a nerd sitting at our table.
Poof, head of the table. And you know what? Now I think about nerds from back then, they look like Mormons.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit.
Dark pants.
Yeah. White shirts.
White button-up shirt, short sleeve white button-ups, black tie, dark glasses, except maybe like a geeky looking or a socially awkward Mormon probably looks just like a stereotypical 1980s nerd.
Exactly.
And that's what he looked like. And he's sitting there, and he's just very like, oh, this is where I am. This is where I belong. There's no like...
Right, hey, how's it going? Or, wow, I haven't seen you in forever. And he's instantly starts doing these horrible impressions, and like he's playing with the food, like doing a scene with the food.
Yeah, I think they were serving deviled eggs and Cornish hen, and he was showing, which I found mildly amusing, the eggs coming out of the Cornish hen. Which,
but like as soon as they came out of the kitchen into the dining room, you know, all of a sudden Rick was on, and it was just like there was a 5-minute span where it was just 50 miles an hour of Rick, just all this stuff. Like, there was no setup for it or anything. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna go out of control, and I'm just gonna I mean, it's like, ugh. It's right in your face.
A play can be a slow build. Maybe you watch a play, it's an hour and a half long. Right. They had 22 minutes to establish these characters. Maybe they did kind of pick up the speed, you know, like, times 2, we got
to show how annoying this guy is.
We got to rush through this and blast through. Maybe it was verbatim dialogue from the play. I don't know. But, yeah, they really blasted through his awkwardness and his ability to be annoying immediately.
And you know who it reminded me of instantly? Andy Dick.
Oh.
It was a cross between Andy Dick and Martin Short. Like the mannerisms and just the very physical
Martin
movements.
Short, really? Okay.
Well, Martin Short used to do a character, Mr. Grimley.
Oh, who's on what?
On Saturday Night Live.
You know, I was thinking Martin Lawrence.
No.
Yes, Grimley. Did he have the alfalfa spike in the back?
Yeah, in the front. It was in the front.
Oh, in the front. Okay.
Yes. It was like, thank you very much, I must say.
Sorry, he was wringing his hands and squinting his eyes. Yes. Okay, I absolutely see that now.
Just the mannerisms and the way they went about it. That I find a lot of similarities between Martin Short and Andy Dick. Except drugs.
Okay. Yeah. You find them both annoying?
No. I don't find them annoying.
Do you like Andy Dick?
I love Andy Dick.
I like him too. The boss's wife is a kleptomaniac. The boss gets upset and he tries to go because I think he's like physically handling his food at one point.
Right,
saying,
right.
Hey, I'm not going to eat this. You take it.
Yeah.
And the boss is kind of like, what is this guy? Who is this? Why is he here?
Yep.
I've had enough.
I'm out of here.
He gets out the door.
He opens the door, almost leaves, and then Will says, "But wait."
The wife says it. Tansy says, "Hey, you know what? That's too bad. We're just about ready to start playing the games."
Put on the brakes because this guy loves games.
He does an about face, back in the door, says, "You know what? This guy's got his dirty fingerprints all over my Cornish hen. I don't want none of it. Let's sit down. Let's play them games."
Right. And the first game they play is I went on a trip and bought.
Yep.
I thought we could describe how to play the game real quick, but let's do a round of it. Do you want to try to do a round of?
Should we explain how the game is played?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, basically, everyone you go around in a circle, however many people are in your party, and then you say, "I went on a trip and bought," and then the first person says something that begins with the first letter of the alphabet, so A, and the next person has to repeat what the last person said, and then add the next letter, and then as you go, you're just growing a bigger and bigger list until someone can't do it, and then the game is either over or they're out.
That person's out.
Okay. So, would you like to go ahead and start?
Sure. I went on a trip and brought an asparagus.
Oh. Well, I went on a trip and I bought an asparagus and an alligator.
No, you're out.
What's that?
You're out. You're not playing the game right.
What are you talking about?
You're supposed to do a B.
I just explained the game.
You explain. I know you explained it and you explained it wrong. I do an A.
Yeah.
You then repeat.
I will do an A, and then we just keep going to A's back and forth.
I repeat. You repeat my A, and then you have a B. And
all
so
right.
then when I go back, I do.
Okay, I get it.
Okay. All
right.
right.
Try again. You start.
Okay. I I went on a trip and I brought Appalachians.
Like the people?
Yep.
I went on a trip and I brought an Appalachians. And I also brought Rocky Mountains.
No. Let's try one more time. A, B, C, D.
D,
Just-
E,
yeah.
F, G,
H, I, J, K, L,
M,
M,
N, M, O. Oh, so say it. Hold on.
L, N, M, O, P.
No, one more time.
L, M, N, O, P.
M and M O P. You said L M N O?
L, M, N, O.
Okay. Yeah.
right.
Whatever, man. Whatever. All right. Let's try it again.
Your mom was a world champion spelling bee person, correct?
Not me. Not me, man. My dad loved math. Mom
Right.
could spell up a storm. Not this guy.
All right, let's.
You know what I like?
Huh.
PBS.
All right, here we go. We're going to try one more time.
Okay.
This is the last time we're trying.
Masterpiece Theater.
Right. And action. I went on a trip and I brought an aardvark.
A B. I'm on a trip and I bought aardvark and a bardvark.
Good. There's no such thing, but you got it. I went on a trip and I brought an aardvark, a bardvark, and a canteen.
A B C D. I went on a trip. I bought aardvark, bardvark, canteen, dentine.
Very good.
Good.
Yes. I went on a trip and I brought an aardvark, a bardvark, a canteen, and dentine.
And okay, are we done?
You have to do the next one.
I said dentine, so you say the E.
Oh, an elephant.
I quit. I can't. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, they said apple basket candlestick duck. By the way,
Oh, you really
Yeah.
kept track.
Yeah, and
then
Rick-
map of the area.
and so Rick starts writing, and gets his little pocket protector notepad out and starts writing stuff, and Mr. Wellgrave loses his shit because Rick's
He loves
cheating.
games.
Right.
He loves games. And when you start messing with someone who loves games and how you're playing those games, get ready to feel their entire wrath.
Yeah, exactly. And he's flipping out, so he's like, you know what? I'm out of here.
Why are it's a memory game. You cannot take out a pad of paper
Right.
and write down what the last person said. That's cheating.
Right, exactly.
And
That's like if one of us, like if you're reading facts,
Right.
and if I give my opinion on the fact,
You did that. You did that exact thing earlier.
Oh shit, I did. I cheated.
That's an example of something that really happened just within the past 20 minutes.
Yeah, I cheated. I'm sorry.
Look, Willem was like, you know what? He was trying to make a lot of leeway for this guy because he had saved his life. He's obviously
He's in debt. He puts up with stuff. He's like
the Chewbacca of this
Right,
situation.
right,
He's
exactly.
got a life debt to this
right.
man.
He's like, I'd rather do this on a Thursday, and they're like, no, we're doing this on a Tuesday, and
Yeah.
he just goes, okay.
Yep, that's right. Is that? Oh, I get you. I get you. That's an inside joke.
Miles will be mad at me.
Yeah, she'll be mad. Anyway, so he's obviously annoyed with the way this guy's behaving, but he's like, you know what? I'm going to give him a little leeway because he saved my life. He's trying to balance keeping the client happy and kind of satiating the nerd,
Right.
Rick Steadman. So they stop that game, and they says, you know what? We got to play your game. I want to play one of my games, if that's all right. This one's called Socks and Shoes, and I think they all take off their shoes, and then they put a paper bag over their head. This is so not entertaining.
No.
I am so over this show at this point.
Yeah, when this started, I became agitated because I was like, I'm running out of time here. Something has to, this has to get interesting at some point.
Right. You got one eye on the clock, and you're like, think it's winding down here.
Right. Molly's laying there naked next to me, and
Nice.
she's like, is it show over yet? And I'm like, I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
Not the case. They have paper bags over the heads. They cut holes in there. He pokes the Mr. Walgreen's eyes out, and then they said, well, we need a Bible. He takes his shoes and he hides them in the window, and he comes back. He's like, I need a Bible.
He makes them all cover their ears and spin around,
so they don't know where he's hiding his shoes, which are
$200 pair.
very. Some would say a syndicate, a syndication worth of shoes.
Right. Exactly.
So he hides the shoes and he comes back and says, all right, I need a Bible. And at this point, no one has any idea what this game is or what
Right.
it's
They're
about.
getting frustrated, and Will's like, well, we don't have a Bible. And he's like, what do you mean you don't have a Bible? He goes, I have to read stuff until I have to read passages from the Bible until they bring up the word shoes or socks.
That's right. And then someone has to say something or raise their hand, some bull crap. And anyway, he's totally put off. He doesn't have a Bible, and he's like, "Well, you don't believe in God?" And this is where Rick Steadman and Johnny Walgreens get together and decide, you know what, we're on the same page here. Why don't you have a Bible? Don't you believe in God?
Right.
And he's like, no, it's not that. I don't think I have one. And then so Rick says the game is over. We're not going to do the game because we don't have a Bible. He goes to get the syndication shoes from the window, and he knocks them out the window into a creek.
Yeah, there's a creek right next to their house.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so that it was, and so great. Walgreens loses his shit
Again, for third or maybe the third or fourth time. And that ends the night right there. He gets up and says, "You know what? These shoes they're worth more than your life, the nerd. I'm leaving." And he takes his wife with him, and who knows at this point what she's stolen. But they're out the door, and then
Tansy goes out there.
Someone trips over his suitcase, don't they? Or what
he said, he's something about bringing his suitcase. Where do you want me to sleep or something? And he brings this huge trunk in, and there's just a couple more jokes. Will comes back in from being outside with the Walgreens and has 2 spoons. The wife had stole 2 spoons.
Oh, really? I missed that. I didn't realize. Did they mention that?
Yeah.
He comes back in, and then everyone's just very annoyed with Rick at this point, and then Rick hands Willem a Bible, and to me, that's some sort of weird it was a very emotional thing for him to receive that Bible, or so. Did you get? Did I miss something here?
I think because Will came in, he was really angry with Rick. He was like, "Hey, we got a problem here," and he's like, "Hey, here you go." And Will's like, "What's this?" He's like, "It's a Bible. It's for you. You can keep it." And Will had it was like there was a wall. Will was like, "I can't go past this wall. This guy just gave me the Lord's word.
Right?
How can I yell at him right now?" He's like, "You know what, Rick? Good night. Get some rest." And then he goes upstairs. Fucks the hell out of his wife.
You must have saw an extended version that I missed. To me, it ends shortly after him handing over the Bible, and then that was it.
That Bible thing was super awkward.
It was weird.
It was weird. It was awkward. I felt really out of I felt like it was out of place. It was weird.
Maybe there was more in the play. Maybe this was a summary of the play from A to Z, and there was that meant more there. But you're right. He kind of hit a wall there, where it just is like, oh, it kind of melted his heart in a way, and it was just it didn't make sense.
It was like, we got to hurry up and wrap this up.
And you and I should hurry and wrap this up because there was that was enough. 22 minutes. It was a very long 22 minutes. Nothing happened. A lot of times we end it. You're like, okay, I see where this is going. Right. They're setting up a few things. Nothing was really set up. It's like, hey, I'm living here now.
Yep, I'm living here, and get used to it. I'm gonna ruin your life.
Let's decompress a little bit and listen to one of my favorite shows on the Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. For over 8 years, Blake Clayton, the podcasting god, has brought you the best in roots music, adult comedy, and real talk with his ever-revolving cast of co-hosts in the form of It Burns When I Pee. Join one of the true podcast originators along with intern Heather and the Bottle Cap Kid as they play games, interview interesting characters, and just maybe uncover the meaning of life. New episodes of IBWIP can be found every Friday on the Fakakta Comedy Network. Check us out at fcfnetwork.com and join in on the fun. It's a pretty good show.
It's pretty good.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like to hear that one. That show, every episode of that is better than The Nerd. And we're going to talk
I would hope so.
We're going to talk about why that is.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Turbulence. We kind of give our opinions. These are not facts. This section is not about facts.
Okay,
this is our opinion. So
we get in trouble again.
I know you like to use the word interesting a lot for whatever reason today. Go ahead and apply it to this portion of the show. Why didn't this program work?
Well, I learned an interesting fact earlier.
Okay.
That the show did not even go on television for like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
But Why didn't this work? It didn't work because it was so odd and so out there. It wasn't like an odd, like an I don't understand this. It was odd, like why are these people? Why is he all of a sudden magically? It didn't click. And the Bible thing made it completely weird for me. I'll tell you what, I did enjoy Rick, the character. I did enjoy him.
Okay.
But everything around him was just ridiculous. Like the Mr. Walgreens was way over the top. His wife was annoying.
Yeah.
Tansy is the most horrible name I've ever heard.
It's a terrible name.
Will seemed like a big pussy. You know what I mean? It just, and like the phone call, like how it all came. I would have liked him to knock on the door and then been interaction. You know what I mean? It was like he appeared, like poof.
And then it really did seem to, maybe this was a lot like the stage production, but they only had 22 minutes to do it, like we were talking about. And they just rushed through everything. A lot of it didn't make sense. I can't imagine. I really wonder why they would air it 7 years later. It doesn't make sense to me.
What's the point of even?
Maybe they're contractually obligated to air it at some point, but it was just really, to me, it was very bad. I did not like the character of Rick. To me, it's a lot like The Big Bang Theory. Those guys on The Big Bang Theory, no one acts like that. Nobody acts like that. These are just horrible stereotypes that are not funny to me. I know you kind of like the show. I think it's shit out. It's just fucked out a little bit where it's not. It doesn't make sense. There's no foot in reality. These just characters are so bizarre and over the top. It makes for crap television to me.
Okay,
that's how I see it. As far as what I would do to improve it, I don't know. Maybe tone him down a little bit. Maybe not make him such a cliche. And again, this is the same criticism I could put towards The Big Bang Theory. Just don't stop having to wear weird sweaters. Have someone get a normal haircut. It's not hard to do. You know, stop having Johnny Galecki talking a high voice. Rick Steadman didn't need to, poke that guy in the eye.
Right,
It's just too much silly stuff. What would you like to see this go if it survived?
It was definitely going to be a situation where they have this tumor that they can't get rid of, and it affects their life in so many ways. They were going to take him to the grocery store, and he was going to, or
he's going to knock over a bunch of cans.
Yeah, or they were going to take him to a baseball game, and he was going to accidentally walk out in the field in the middle of the game. That kind of stuff. It was, that's where it was going to go. That's the only place it could have gone. Is he was going to continually mess up or continually mess their lives up, but with the last 3 minutes of the show, he was going to do something.
He's
sweet.
going to present them a Bible every episode,
right? Yeah, he was going to do something sweet and make it all go away,
redeem himself. Mm-hmm. I think I would like if it were to survive, I would have liked to have seen Willem every episode try to kill Rick Steadman.
I like it.
Like set it up so he would die,
right,
but then save him. So the debt would be.
I didn't think about that.
So every episode,
wipe that debt out.
Every episode, he's trying to time it to where he'd slip on a banana peel and fall in front of a bus, but then he'd grab his jacket.
Sure.
And even if he didn't grab his jacket, then at least the problem's gone. But,
right.
But
it's a win-win situation.
That's right. But every episode, just try to some way to eliminate this guy, but saving him to even the score, and boot his weird ass out of the house.
Right. I like it.
That's just me.
Very good.
That's just where my mind goes.
Hey, comedy. You are a comedy nerd.
That's right. Oh, aren't we all?
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
A lot of these things that we watch are so obscure, and again, just these one-off things. There's not a lot of reviews for them. There's a couple for The Nerd, though.
Oh, okay.
One critic says, Rick Ellis, oddly enough, Rick Ellis says, The Nerd is a failure on a lot of levels. Part of it was casting. The leads are all good actors, but they were miscast in a show that demanded a lighter touch than they could pull off.
I can see that.
Maybe so. Yeah, because, everyone did, like Willem and Tansy just kind of stood around and be like, and
then just kissed each other once in a while.
Yeah, they just had their hands up and they were like, I don't know what this guy's doing.
Right.
And then while Rick's running circles around him doing weird stuff, and just like, it didn't jive well.
They didn't mesh well with the character of Rick. Like there wasn't good back and forth. Like you said, it was just standing there going,
look at this guy. What's he doing now? It's so weird. Maybe over time it could have gotten better, but I wouldn't give him that chance.
Nope.
From IMDb, I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Kozaf Kozaflick? I don't know. The Nerd proves NBC Saturday is please watch TV. 1 out of 10 scars. So they had must-see TV.
Right.
And that was Thursday nights, right? They had like a 2-hour block of genuinely good comedy for the most part. But not this. And maybe this was just thrown on a Saturday, which again is kind of a dumping ground. The summer as a whole, reruns, reality shows, garbage, just you pump out.
Well, Utopia, I think, came out in the summer.
Well, there's your exception that proves the rule, right?
I love that show.
Great show. But this, if you dump something on a Saturday, Fridays and Saturdays are usually lower rated because people are out doing stuff.
Everybody's out doing stuff. Everybody's grocery shopping. Everybody's doing what they got to do to get done.
IMDb, the score there overall. So far it's only got 1 review and it's 1 scar. You need to have 5 scores on IMDb to have an official IMDb rating. This one did not have that.
Wow.
So
sucky.
Yeah, me sucky long time.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
So this taped in 89, shown in 96, 20 to 25 years now. Critics can watch it. They can say what they want. Other people can watch it. All these different reviews out there. Now it's our turn. Now we get a chance to say what we think.
This is where we shine. This is where we show our true talent.
There's a 30-second period of this hour show that we shine.
Right, because a lot of times I go back and listen, and I stutter a lot, and I say, a lot, and I say stuff like that, and it bothers me. But when I do this part, I'm on point.
You're confident. You know exactly what you want to say, and you go out there and you...
I'm like David fucking Copperfield.
The most confident man I've ever seen.
He is. He just looks confident.
He does. He is stone-faced, doesn't he?
He's confident. He just does his magic trick and doesn't be like, oh, wow, I did that. Or nothing, just like, fuck yeah, I did that.
He's stone-faced, and then he gets a little smirk every once in a while.
Oh, yeah, the magician's smirk.
That's right. And you ever hear... I've heard stories about David Copperfield where he, owns an island, and then he, takes women to this island, and he pretty much kind of, keeps them there until they sleep with him. Because
really?
they can't get away from the island, they're kind of stuck.
Wow, that's like the Bill Cosby of magic. I did a good one.
I think so. I think that applies. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, high five it.
I love it.
Where Bill Cosby used drugs, David Copperfield used distance from water to land.
Hey, same ending.
They all.
God, that was good.
You know what? Take a break. You earned it. I'll go first on reviewing this. The scale is 1 to 7, and these are all we grade them based on the characters from the wings.
And let's just go through real quick the because it's been a while.
It's been a while. Wings. We love the show Wings. We ripped its intro and outro for our very own intro and outro.
8 seasons.
The whole basis of this program on flight and couch pilots, the intro, the outro, it's all the centerpiece is Wings at the cornerstone for this whole thing. The very worst score you can get is a Roy Biggins. We basically take a look at all the main characters. We said there's pretty much 7 main characters throughout the series, and then we said in which order do we like them from worst to best. And then that's the grading scale. Yep. So we got Roy Biggins is the worst. Then you got Faye Cochran, Antonio Scarpacci, Joe Hackett, not Joel, Lowell Mather, Helen Chappell, and then Brian Hackett. And a couple weeks ago, I gave a Brian Hackett out for Action Family, well-deserved in my eyes. That is not the score I'm giving tonight.
Okay, all right.
Not even close. I'm going to have to take it all the way downtown to Faye Cochran. I'm going to give it a 2.
2? All right.
This is not good. It's not very funny. It to me, as soon as they said this started as a play, I was like, I see that. I may even be interested in watching. I like theater.
Sure.
I might even be interested in watching that, but not as a sitcom. This did not work here.
No, and I completely agree with you. It did not work. For one, there was no blonde bimbos.
Yeah, that's a big downer for you.
Yeah, that's gonna bring your points way down and not really save you from anything. I thought about a Faye.
Yeah.
thought about Faye, but then I did say that I liked the Rick character,
Right.
Rick Stedman. I'm going to give it an Antonio Scarpacci 3.
That's a little bit better than me. Yeah, it's sitting towards the bottom. It's not a very good show. I would not recommend you watch it if you haven't seen it already.
You might as well just leave it on the tarmac.
Leave it on the tarmac for
Hashtag.
sure. Let John sweep it up. That's it for this one, but we're not done yet. Join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of Puppetman. Here is a little something to wet your whistle. A children's show puppeteer is torn between spending time with his visiting 6-year-old son and saving his show. And what's his show? It's called Dragon Time, and this whole thing is created by Jim Henson. Mm-hmm. So I personally, the Muppets, and I'm not alone, millions of people across the globe, Muppets have a special place in their heart, as well as mine. This is something I was not aware of until we dug into this show.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it either, and we're going back now and watching the new Muppet Show.
I'm aware of it. I have not seen it.
And I can honestly say that we all enjoy it as a family.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to dig into that definitely next time. Where can you find Puppetman? It's all one word. It's no space between puppet and man. Go to YouTube, search Puppetman TV Pilot, or subscribe to our show. And you'll get all the show notes. There's blue links in there. It's critical that they're blue links. If by some act of God another color of link rears its head, do not
click on
You don't want that. You want the blue links only. Click on that. You'll be able to watch the entire episode right from our show notes. Subscribe to Couch Pilots. Take the FCF Network Challenge. Watch all the shows. Listen to all the episodes of all the podcasts. Become a frequent flyer. Get those points.
Yes, get those points. Like I said, we just went and we signed about 150 pairs of aviator glasses. People are emailing me and say, "Hey, how do I have enough points yet? Do I have enough points yet?" And I'm like, you know what? You do. And
You do.
so
Here they come.
Here they come.
Yeah, clear your calendar. Stay at home when that mailman pulls up. You'll be ready.
Exactly.
And summer's around the corner. Put those sunglasses on,
Oh, not only are they cool like as a collector's item,
Right.
it's like having a pair of
Like Air Jordans, maybe?
no,
No, not like that. It's not like that.
no, like a pair of Brian Hackett glasses, like his jacket from
Oh,
the
like a
show
bomber
Wings.
jacket.
It's gonna be like if you had the original one that he wore.
Yeah.
that's what these are gonna mean to
It's
you.
the real deal. If you got questions for us, suggestions, whatever, if you just want to say hi, say, "Hey, my name's Jerry, and I'm a big fan of your show. Peace out, forever love." Send it to us, couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com. Send us a note. We want to talk to you. We want to hear from you. Or again, go to fcfnetwork.com and check out all the shows. We've got, seven shows now on the network, and there's a release almost every day, a bunch of quality stuff. If you don't like this show, then screw you. Go find a show you do like.
Right.
It's out there.
There's going to be something that you like. If you don't like us, whatever.
And
I'm fine with that.
And I would usually at this point would screw up and say, and it's only like $15 a month. But the fact of the matter is, it's free.
Free.
All the shows are free.
Yep, it's free, and it's important for us to keep it free because these shows are free to watch.
That's what our founding fathers would want. They'd want free podcasts.
I think that's what Bernie Sanders is going to want.
Yeah, and that's why we support Bernie Sanders, and I think he's mentioned this in a couple of his speeches recently, and especially at the Iowa caucus, he mentioned this, I believe.
Yeah, I believe he said we were in the top 1% of the 1% of podcasts.
That's right, and he wasn't wrong in saying that.
No,
I mean,
Not at all.
you can manipulate numbers to show whatever you want, essentially.
oh yeah.
So thank you, Bernie. We'll see you in the White House. Blake, do you have anything else that you want to mention before we leave today?
I just want to make sure everybody knows we have a Facebook page. You mentioned the email address, couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com. But don't forget we have the Twitter now, and that's @CouchPilotsPod. So
Check them out. Follow us on there. Be the first to get all the news, all the updates. We're releasing every Monday.
yeah, and go on to iTunes and give us a review.
Yep.
Um,
Let them know what you think about us.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about us.
definitely.
Well, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.